Aloha, you guys. This is Ahava. I haven't made any long videos for quite some time. Just been so busy. We had a 7-day Sukkot here in Hawaii through our ministry and had guests here at the Airbnb and camping out. And hadn't been out to the farm that we have for a while. And this little creature was on the street, really dehydrated, not moving. And I drove by it thinking, what was that? Like a stuffed animal? And then I stopped and I went back, and it was this little squirt. Literally, you can see how little he is. He fits in my hand. And his eye was sealed, not feeling very well. And picked him up, brought him home. So now my husband's like, oh my goodness, now we have 8 cats. I said, I'm just fostering. We have a farm, so I'm planning on taking this little guy to the farm once he's old enough and well enough. But anyway, I wanted to just share some insights with you guys this morning. If possible, it may not be possible because little guy's so squirmy, but he's a beauty. There's so much love out there at the farm. We got silkies, we got goats, little wee kittens, people getting their joy back in life, learning about the things that matter, like the moments you have with your children and hugs and birds chirping and the animals, and just when you have a good meal that you've grown your own food and you caught your fish, or you've bought local, not from some huge big Costco or a Target store or Walmart. It's just, there's so much fulfillment in just the simple things. And I just wanted to share with you guys, because as the world gets more and more insane, you know, we've chosen Saturday mornings for our set apart, you know, practice up at Nanakuli. I think we're the only church on the island that meets every Saturday morning at the beach, and has a pot blessing afterwards where everybody brings a little bit of something fun to eat and healthy. And then people surf or play sandcastles with their kids and just fellowship about what's going on in the world, so they have a place to process it all and learn what God, Yah, the Most High, El, says about it, versus what the gods of, many gods, demigods of this world, which are your, you know, folks on TV claiming that the billionaires makes them in the status to decide what all the other people have to go through. It's insane, you guys. When you guys are finally awake and you realize the whole world's gone upside down, inverted, and that it's all Luciferian. Admiralty Maritime Law is not law for people. It's law for merchants, commerce, and ships. Father Yah said you cannot serve 2 masters. I was watching one of my very favorite harbingers I started watching about 10 or 11 years ago. His name is Jonathan Kleck, and he had about 144 or 150,000 subscribers. And they took him off YouTube too. They took me off YouTube twice already. So yeah, they don't want people being real. They want people being phony, addicted to drugs, alcohol, AI, food, everything but the real, everything but love, everything that is made with a heartbeat and blood. Christ said life is in the blood, and it's so true. You can get addicted and stay occupied or distracted all day long on the internet. And it is fun. It's very addictive. I think it's more addictive than drugs or alcohol. But the reality is we're losing our families. We're losing what it is to feel connection with something real. And that's why, because in the future, they want everybody half, you know, cyborg. So, you know, half chipped up and half under the control of, you know, like a robot car from Radio Shack you used to buy your kids with the little controller. If y'all want your life back, you're never going to have another chance on this planet ever unless you stand. And it's really simple. Yesterday, JK, Jonathan Kleck, had a video, and I'll try to put it in the link of this video. And he, you can also find him, by the way. I think it's thekleckfiles.com or .net. But it's called the Kleck Files something. But he put all of his work from 11 years on there, and you cannot actually, unless you just come deaf, dumb, and blind completely. If you can't see it right in your face of what's happened to us and how it happened to us, well, I guess you're supposed to be in the third world or the third dimension matrix in the satanic world. But if you want to rise up out of it and wake up from the corona coma and all the lies and manipulation and the satanic spells and everything, just wake up from it. You have a choice to make. You can either serve the Most High or you can serve the powers of this world because they're going to give you money or whatever. But JK brought up something. I teach 508c1a, which is separation of church and state. It's its own separate entity. It's not under the jurisdiction of the dead or the beast system or the matrix or any of that. It's separate, set apart. It's for the chosen ones, those called out of Egypt and into the light, you guys. So that's what all of the uber rich people use for theirs. They live in trust, and a lot of them have foundations. They have all these things. But sadly, most of their stuff that they have isn't doing good in the world. We've been doing good in the world with literally no money. Yah has manifested a farm that we got and worked it out just by working out a private agreement. Amazing. We've got chickens that are being donated. They're already laying, and we're doing trade for watching her chickens while she goes to the Philippines, and we're learning how to level up, play a different game, because the game of this world is really keeping you stuck in all the things that they're offering you, and you take it thinking it's a good deal, but it really becomes a slave collar. So if you want to learn about what real money is, which is gold and silver, it has nothing to do with the word like crypt. What is crypt? Look it up. Crypt is dead. Crypto, dead money. And just another form of fiat money, which is what we have now with the greenbacks, which is not money, because it says right in the U.S. Constitution what real money is, and it's gold and silver. And it always will be. It's God's money. It's sovereign money. Let's see, what else do we teach? We teach about sovereignty. What is sovereignty? How do you declare and proclaim your sovereignty? What workshop? We offer workshops that are literally, you come to Hawaii, you can camp out or stay at the Airbnb here, and we do workshops, we do classes, we walk you through step by step the confusion of identity, who you think you are and who you really are. We fix your legal status from infant non compos mentis, which in Latin means you don't know who you are, to, you're born again, literally as Christ said, born again status, which you are here, standing on the land jurisdiction, declaring to the merchants, basically, who have held up your trust, your SETA KV trust, your private side, assuming you were dead. Isn't that funny, since you're assuming your whole life you've been alive? But you've been in bondage in a system that is basically a dead language, a dead fiction. You guys should check out David Wynn Miller. David Wynn Miller has amazing videos, and he teaches all about this, about how the language, the bastard language, the English language, and then the British Royal or Registered Accredited Agency or something, the bar, how that isn't even about America at all. They take allegiance to the Queen of England. So what does that make us? Slaves of the Queen of England. And now she's dead, and the whole world is in limbo wondering what's next. So we're either going to go into complete scary Antichrist nightmare, or we're going to ascend, and the world is shifting. You can see it before your eyes. There's 50% of the people on the internet are rising up, and they're waking up, and they're seeing what's going on. And they're really actually starting a love revolution, because that's the only thing that's going to save us. Being angry at these people who have been doing this to us all the time and starting wars over it is just not worth it, because, the reality is their souls are going to be eternally in hell, burning. So we should be praying for our brothers and sisters who came into the world and picked the wrong side of the team and that need help, because without us praying them out of this, the ones who are still salvageable, they're lost eternally. So I don't want my friends or family to be lost. That's my biggest thing in life, is praying for all my family members who more are in religion than relationship with Christ. And I shouldn't be so judgmental on them or anybody else, because it took me a really long time really long time, in and out of the world and trying to serve God for years, in and out of, living really healthy to living really unhealthy to just, it was just really hard for me for some reason. I was desperately lonely in this world. I knew I was different. I loved God since I was a little girl, but I was so lonely for relationship with any human living person. I guess that's why I've had so many critters. I've had so many cats and dogs I can't even remember over my lifetime. But anyway, feeling super, super blessed after doing a 7-day Sukkot with our ministry. We started back in 2017, and then we met some young people that were studying the Torah, and it was just the perfect fit. I mean, it was like we were family from the beginning, and they got grafted into our ministry. And then we've met, some other young people along the way who want to just do nothing but serve God, and they want to do micro farms. And right now we're working on getting a food truck and doing fundraisers, incorporating the CrossFit gym into a whole mind, body, spirit, absolute, like literally you wake up thinking different. Your whole day is structured different until you've been doing this so long that you know that you're not the same person anymore, or the same man or woman. I don't like to use the word person anymore either, because person can be an artificially created entity, which basically doesn't represent a man or a woman. A man or a woman is created by God, El, Yah, the Most High. But all these other legal fictions keep us in the bondage of this world because of language. So really, it's like you have to go back and study these things. In the Bible, it says Hosea 4:6, which I always wondered why that was one of my favorite scriptures, but it's my people are destroyed or perish for lack of knowledge. It's different versions, but same thing. Perish and destroyed is not a good thing. How do you think most of the people feel after 2 years of being deceived with a made-up, in a lab virus that was set loose to get the whole world to bow down and put on a sign of, it's like, how do you say it, dominatrix and submissive, to get the whole world to submit with those stupid masks that have left everybody with hypoxia. My asthma is way worse. I've got a friend who's got hypoxia. I mean, I have been thinking about it because I asked my doctor because she knows I have asthma, to give me an exemption form from the hospital, and she refused to do it. So I'm thinking about suing them. It's just insanity. And yet we know this fall, based on Biden's nasty report, that they're going to try to make it the globalists who want to crash everything so they can get everything digital and everybody chipped and dipped and under their control again. So you guys have to really decide. They're going to make it really hard, but we don't have to make it hard. We can start loving each other, helping each other, getting communities organized so that people who have more than enough can share, people who are younger, who've got the skills and the manpower and the bodies that can do labor, with old people with assets. You couple up this with God's word and loving communities, and you can do anything in God. I mean, like anything. And we call him Yah. His real true sacred name is Yahweh, or Yah, or El, E-L. And there is a field all around this planet that has been under attack, and our bodies have been under attack, and they've been putting, drugs, alcohol, poisons, toxins, and calling it food for like our whole lives. So now we're all trying to detox all this stuff. You guys, in my lifetime when I was a little girl, you hardly ever heard of people, and I'm almost 60. So my grandfather had a heart attack. My other grandfather, when he quit drinking, lived to be, I think he quit at 60, and he lived to be 94 years old. Amazing man. My other daddy was not so fortunate, and he died recently in March at 84. But the reality is, I look at both my dad and my grandpa and the life path that, both of them led. And I've been just so struggling for so long because my dad, I felt like, made such a bad choice. But in the world we lived in back when, I was a little girl, if you were going to law school or medical school and becoming a doctor or lawyer. Those were highly, praised. If you could accomplish that, people looked up to that in society. Well, today, people are looking at doctors and lawyers like the scum of the earth because they chose to serve Babylon and got all away from health. It's all about money and managing, making people, putting stuff in them that then they have to come up with something else. So they have total control over your temple. Then you've got them with this, like if we crash the system and you guys aren't using gold or silver or, physical in your hand, trading it, or something that's a tangible asset, again, if it's under a centralized system, you're completely screwed. At will, whatever they want to do, they can do to you. This country, America, was the only place in the whole world where people got away. They went across an entire ocean to get away of the control of England. And then in 1776, when all of the war happened in 1776, the Declaration of Independence, but then later in 1871, we lost our independence because we went under this freaking corporation that even the word corporation means dead, 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 dead. So we've all been lost in Deadsville. Literally, they've made fun of us for 200 years in movies, television shows. While they destroy our values, they literally make fun of us. So I had a dream this morning, and I got up pretty early because Yah is fixing to, it's kind of like last call for all the fallen that have chosen the wrong path. We are literally having revival break out here already anyway in Hawaii, but there is something about aloha and the love and the light of that word. Ha is the breath of life, and the whole entire word is just all around the world received with nothing negative. So that's why we're going to work on it. Anyway, I'm glad for sharing this little moment with you this morning. I hope you have a glorious day in the Lord. God bless you, and aloha.